Hi, this is Laura from LiveVisions.com, and I just wanted to give you guys some information on Mercury, the sign of Mercury, and what it means. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Mercury goes retrograde about 3 times a year. It is the fastest moving planet. The moon's actually faster, but the moon is really a luminary. So, when Mercury does go retrograde, depending on the house that it's in, usually you're rethinking, redoing something in that house, or people from the past tend to re-enter. When Mercury does go retrograde, they ask that you don't sign contracts, and unless it's something that you were offered prior to the Mercury going retrograde. So let's say, they always say it's not good to start something new during a Mercury retrograde if it's in the house that it's in. So let's say that, is it a good time to start a new relationship? Probably not if Mercury's retrograding in your 7th house. But is it a good time to fix things with an ex? Definitely. You may actually hear from an ex if it's retrograding in your 7th house. Wherever Mercury's going retrograde, you're asked to kind of look within and sort of reanalyze, rethink whatever, it was retrograding in that house. Pretty much, like I said, Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. And during this time, communications can get lost. You could have miscommunications with people. Documents are lost. Bad time to sign legal agreements because of the fact that you might sign something and not know the big picture later on. You may not really see the fine print, or what you thought you were signing may turn out to be something else. So in this video, I am going to go into Mercury by the signs and Mercury by the houses, and to give you a better understanding of what it means. So stay tuned. Hi, this is Laura from LiveVisions.com, and I wanted to give you some information on Mercury and what does it mean if it is in Gemini or your 3rd house. Well, the sign it's in tells you how you communicate, the type of communicator you would be. And in Gemini, you would be, I want to say, you could talk about anything and everything. You're like the jack of all trades. You love conversation. And you could probably sell ice to an Eskimo. You would probably be really good at sales. Communication is so important to you because I think that, not only your mind gets triggered through communication with other people. And you're very witty. With this placement, you're very smart, you're clever, you love learning new things. But I want to say that your mind jumps from subject to subject. So you may be thinking of 5 zillion different things at once, Gemini is kind of like, I don't want to say fickle, but they're really smart, but always going from one thing to the next, And you love to learn new things because you get bored easily. So you have to be kind of like stimulating your mind at all times because, you get bored. Now, what does it mean if it's in the 3rd house? Well, Mercury in the 3rd house, it basically shows the how is the sign and the where is the house. So what that's going to show me is where you're going to probably be thinking about in your life. You may be concerned with siblings. You may just be concerned with communication, period. Your thing about, you may love computers. You may love electronics. You may love the iPad. Just any kind of communication, you probably love it. It's your thing. And that means communication device too. You probably may be concerned with short distance trips. You may like to, anything 3rd house related, your mind would be there, so 3rd house is what? It's your siblings, it could be your cousins, it could be short distance travel. It's education, but like seminars and stuff like this, so you probably like that kind of thing. But I want to say above anything is you would get super bored easy. So you love to keep things going in your mind, like learning, always, you probably love talking to new and different people, interesting people about different subjects. You probably love learning about different subjects. But I will say your mind, the way it works, can go from one subject to the next rather quickly. And sometimes maybe people in a conversation with you may be like, well, weren't we just talking about this? What subject are we on now? Let me get you straight. Well, that's because you're quick. You know, you're always going from one to the next. You could be very witty, so you could be very really good with comebacks, really good with you know, a reply on something. You know, which is great. So you will never be at a loss for words. Let's put it that way. And the reason I say you'd be good at sales is because you could sell ice to an Eskimo. Your mind is usually probably one step ahead of the person that you're trying to encounter or talk with. So this would be great for sales. So this was my synopsis of Mercury in Gemini, or the third house. I wanted to give you some information on some changes we have for the website. LiveVisions.com, we are resuming classes in February, so if you'd like to take a basics class or an aspects class, click the link below and you can sign up. But also, we have some new reports on the site. Under the main page, under services, under reports, there's tons of different reports. And just to go over a few of them, they're only like $30 a report, but they're great. They can be sometimes between 50 and 70 pages. These are really detailed reports. Depending on which one you choose, it does say on the site about how long the report is, depending on which one you pick. But I want to say, if you have a baby and you're like, well, you know, I want to get this kid started early and something that he would be good at or excel at, the child report is great. Because I wasn't sure too much either. I was like, let me see how this report is good. Like, I'll run my own from my, like, how I was as a kid. And it was pretty accurate, you know. And most of the stuff that I was into, it nailed. And so if you really want to know, like, where your kid may be inclined toward, you know, in life or career-wise, the report is wonderful. There's a future forecast report which shows you pretty much aspects that are coming up, and it gives you a heads up on what to expect and maybe how to deal with those aspects. There's 3 or 4 different love reports on synastry and to see how you and a partner may get along. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base on those because it was some work for me to get some of these on here. And I just wanted to let you know that they are available. And anyway, I hope that you like this video. I will be doing more in the future. And what else? I hope you have a nice New Year's, okay? Well, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.